Hey, welcome back to Cobb's Q. Today we're going to do jerky, and this is one of my favorite recipes, and I do this a lot from my oldest son, who forever has loved jerky. So whenever I learn this recipe, every year around December, it's time for birthdays and Christmas, and this is his. Now I like to begin with a lean cut of meat, but often I get to Safeway and what I can find is a bottom round. So that's what we're going to use today. Now the one thing that I failed to do first, and I recommend, is go ahead and cut any fat cap off before you start, so you're not having to trim it off later. And I forgot this time, so don't be me, do it right the first time. And what you don't see is I throw it into the freezer for about 30 minutes before I slice the meat, because Safeway's slicer was broken, and I like to slice about 1/8 of an inch. You can do 1/4 inch. I prefer 1/8 of an inch when making the recipe. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you at least have a cutting glove on, because all it takes is one mistake. And even with the cutting glove, you can still put your nitriles over the top of it to also protect the meat. Today we have bottom round, and with the bottom round, we're just going to cut it across the grain. We're going to cut in 1/8 inch slices. We'll trim up and be ready for the jerky. So we put that right here, turn this on. And we have a really nice slice. It helps to freeze these just a little bit prior. And looks like we're gonna have a little bit left over because I'm not getting my hand in there. Okay, we're gonna call that good. So now we wanna come over and we wanna slice some of this stuff. We're basically gonna come straight across into strips. Without the glove piece. And those will hang perfectly. And they're gonna be across grain now.
Okay, and finally we get the last little piece here. And, my son likes to have strips about like that when he does jerky. So my oldest son, and so this is really going to be set up for him. Got a couple scraps. We'll dig through the scraps that came off on my last cut. And if we have a piece that looks like it'd work like that, that'll hang just fine. So that's everything we need to do for cut up. We got to clean this up, and then we're going to go ahead and get ready to marinate.
Okay, to make the marinade for the jerky, we're going to go ahead and take 1 cup of dark brown sugar. We're going to take 1 cup of soy sauce. We're going to take 5 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. It's a hard one. We're going to go ahead and take 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of meat tenderizer. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. We're going to take 1/2 teaspoon of ground cayenne. We're going to take 1 teaspoon of onion powder. And finally, we're going to take 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Now we're going to mix this up really well. Especially with that brown sugar in there, we want to make sure it's incorporated into the marinade. Okay, the marinade is set up. So we're going to set that, get a glove on, transfer the meat to I just use a 2-gallon bag. You can probably fit that into a 1-gallon bag. It's just my preference to use the 2-gallon so I can really work with it. Flip this around. And we're carefully going to pour this inside. This up. And we're going to go ahead and zip this, a little less air in it. Now we're going to mix it up really well. Make sure that the marinade is covering every piece of meat. Perfect. We're going to go put this in the fridge for 24 hours, and then we'll smoke it tomorrow. All right, so the time has passed. Take out our skewers. And the first thing I want to do is just find out how many of the pieces of jerky I'm going to put on a single skewer. You'll notice today that I only have the top rack in. There's no need for the bottom rack because we're simply going to hang this. We're going to lay one of these across and see that I have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 pieces of jerky. Go ahead and close that, keep the heat inside because it's 33 degrees out here. Grab some jerky, lay it out. We're just going to skew this to the top of 14 pieces. Okay, we have 14 pieces on here. Now this is the no fun part. We're going to very carefully put these through. And this is one of those times that you really want to take the grill inside. You want to clean it off really well. Make sure anything that's on the grill is off and it's clean. It's the hard part, but once you get it, and you go ahead and do that for every one of them. If you have any pieces that kind of curl around like this one that won't stick straight, just set them aside, give them a little extra room, and they'll do just fine. Okay, and at that point, we're gonna let this go for about 3.5 to 4 hours until they're fully dehydrated. We'll take a good look at it. I don't want them crispy, a little chewy, but I still want them fully cooked. Okay, we're gonna look at this. I believe this is ready. Oh yeah, these are ready. These look fantastic. Just very carefully lift them up. And with the skewers, all we need to do is that. Lay these out. It's a good idea to wear those cotton gloves because this can get really hot. So we are good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Eric come over here and taste test one of these, even though they're not cool. Here, this looks like a good piece.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me what you think, buddy.
All right.
I will try this piece.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. So you're right at 3 hours today. It's got a great flavor. And taste the soy, taste the brown sugar. I got some of the heat. Worcestershire's in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. More importantly, I think Joe's going to be really happy.
Oh, yeah.
The oldest boy loves beef jerky, so this is his gift every year, and got a birthday coming up, so here we go. Anyway, thank you again for taking time out of your day today. We're going to go ahead and just put this into bags, let it sit in the fridge for a couple days, and it'll just come together really, really nice. So please take a moment and like.
And subscribe.
And thank you again for joining us today. Have a wonderful day.
Oh, yeah.